Welcome, my friends. Welcome to another aimless adventure. Where are we, Jimmy?
We're at Alden's church, man. Walking Dead.
We're at Alden's church from The Walking Dead. If you're a Walking Dead fan, which you should be if you're watching this channel, maybe you're not, I don't know. This was a very sad moment in Walking Dead history. Alden was a very loved character, and he was loved by Maggie. So this was a sad moment for her, and it all happened right back there. Right back there. I think it's time we explore more of Alden's church. Let's do it.
Not good, huh?
You can walk.
Not gonna know until we try. Maggie,
We'll start when we get back, okay?
the good news is, he lives in Alexandria, so.
This way. Come on.
With Alden being in very bad shape and walkers everywhere, Negan, Maggie, and Alden would have made their way up this road and through these trees.
Oh, I need to keep moving.
No, we need a break.
And then she would have walked with him here into the church.
We all know. I don't know why I walked away from him. It's because I trust you to do the right thing.
Needs a bother. I'm gonna bring her when we get back.
I'm gonna come back.
Now this thing is rough right now because one, it's sitting out in the elements and they're done with production, but also vandals have gotten in here and unfortunately destroyed. You can see this is just for the set here. This is built by studio. You can see how that's just not part of the structure. It's just a door frame that they made. You can see the hardware would be there, and that would be the door frame. But vandals have come in and busted this thing up, and you can see how the studio would have painted this. That's a little silver and white combo, and it kind of makes it look like aged weather, grayed out barnwood type, or even metal. Here's probably the only pew in here that's in decent shape. Someone has knocked off the entire armrest. This one still has it. This one is actually in the best shape of all of the ones that are in here. And so they got duct tape on there. And I don't know, the duct tape may or may not have been studio. I can't confirm or deny all that stuff, but I'm assuming studio made all of these because these are pretty thin. These are not like any pews I've been on. These, I'd go right through that. So, but somebody came in here and they decided to vandalize stuff, and that's a shame. There's the other pew. And you can see they're smashing it up with an axe. And I kind of know it's an axe because Jimmy and I were looking at the window frames, and you can see the indentation of an axe. But these were in here during filming, so these are studio produced and screen used. I don't think you see too many of them. Primarily what you're going to see, and I'll match up some photos and maybe some video of when Maggie comes in. She basically, Alden is over in this area right in here. And there was a pew right there. Well, there's what's left of it. So Alden would have been right over in this area, right over in here somewhere, crawling towards her. And this pole really lines things up. That's kind of the center point. You can see how the vandals have destroyed this whole pulpit stage area. It's just ridiculous to do that stuff. But back to lining up the shots, there's a couple things to keep an eye on here. These nails here that Studio popped in there used to have some vines, and I'll put a picture in here and probably some video too, and you can see how they glued. There's this little bit of glue there, and there was a vine that they wrapped around that to give it that look. But the key right here in lining up this shot is this notch right here. Oops, sorry about that bleaching out, but there are two of those notches in this wood, but this is the key, this one. Because if you line that up, they shot from a very low angle to catch Maggie, and they would have shot it roughly from over here. And again, I'll put a better angle in there in photos, but basically they shot it similar to an angle like this. The pitch may be off here, my elevation may be off, but there we go. Lighting's stripping out on the phone. But it would have been right in that general vicinity. I think they may have had doors back here, or maybe even drapes and whatnot, because you didn't have that brightness kind of bleaching out the scene. And also the way that they shot it, they shot a scene here where she was holding Alden before she put him down, but her body is blocking this if it was open, or if they had I don't know if they had that blacked out or not, but you can see a small amount of light behind her, and you'll see that in the photos or the video, kind of like this angle right here, roughly.
Alden. Alden?
So, as you can tell, unfortunately, dirtbags have gotten in here and they've really busted stuff up, which is completely unnecessary. We know that's probably not Walking Dead fans, let's be honest. We'll come in, take photos, do videos, nerd out a little bit. Who knows, maybe somebody takes a souvenir from an abandoned building. But what we don't do is stuff like that. So if you go to filming locations, I don't care what the genre is or what the movie or television show is, don't be a dick and break stuff, because it pisses people off. And I know I usually don't take this tone in my videos, but when you're destroying stuff, not just because it's a fan base that enjoys it, but just being vandal that's loser city, man. It's unnecessary and it's avoidable. But when you do stuff like this, you screw it up for everybody. Because at some point, we're not going to be able to go to places because losers go in and spray paint or break stuff up. So, all right, got to end my rant. All right, Mr. Jimmy is doubling as Negan. I guess that makes me either dead, Alden, or Maggie. So I guess I'm Maggie in this situation. So,
You're a pretty little woman.
thank you very little. So at this point, we've got Negan and Maggie. Alden has been put down. It's a very sad moment. And Maggie buries him right over here. There used to be a cross, but obviously that's no moss. And speaking of moss, there's plenty of it on there. So this would have been Alden's grave, or is. And you can see it's raised up a little bit there. Kind of hard to see through the perspective of the phone here, but that's Alden's grave right there. And in proximity, there's the church she found him in. And then After burying the young man, Negan and Maggie walked off in this direction. Pretty sad episode. A scene, rather. A couple scenes. But, you know, it ain't called The Walking Living. Well, that's going to do it from this one, from Alden's Church, Walking Dead filming location. Almost had a thought there. Hey, Jimmy, where can folks find you if they're into The Walking Dead?
We run actually a podcast, Dead True Podcast. Also, check out the camp. That's a local convention around the Sonoy and Peachtree City area in Sonoy, Georgia. That's where The Walking Dead's filmed.
Right on. We are at Walking Dead Ground Zero. Oh, yeah. Until next time, walk on and adventure on.